And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the round 16. The round 16 here of this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup, and we've returned to Blackrock. Let's go. We have our first series. We have our best of 3 and spawning in the top right hand corner. Oh, as there's a bit of latency going on. No, Shameless. Stay with us. In the top right hand corner, lagging a little bit. So we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself representing Stowny Balls. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player, the South Korean Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. HonMonO, he did have a strong showing in the last matchup, but Shameless, he is, I would say, favored. He's favored in this series. He's favored in a longer game. But remember, it's HonMonO. We expect cheese every game in this series. We expect cheese, all-ins, proxies, non-stop here from HonMonO as he goes for a proxy racks across the map. And one back at home. Not the most committed proxy here, not at all. From here we can go 2x Reaper, or we can even go for a cheeky add-on across the map and try to be a little bit more sinister. Eyes are on HonMonO. I see the YouTube chat. Blackrock is an Orc clan from Warcraft. Those are Orc towers. They are. These are Orc towers. I mean, as you saw, Orc grunts had been thrown around here and there as well. Let's say you can see them. You can see the Orcs. Beautiful, beautiful. But yes. I did spend quite a good portion of my life playing World of Warcraft. I'm familiar with Blackrock. Oh no. Not like this. But yes, this is I guess we didn't really get to talk about the themes of this map, but it is very Warcraft themed. Very Warcraft themed. You can see all the aesthetic, you can see all the bones, of course. You can see the grunts themselves. You can see the towers, the watchtowers, if you will. I have yet to see. I mean, I'm sure there are other Easter eggs thrown about. I'm sure they're around. Speaking of. If you remember, there was a map, God, it was years ago. It was maybe early Legacy or even Heart of the Swarm. There was a, does anyone remember the name of the map? There was an ice map that actually had the Lich King in the corner. Like it was just like an Easter egg. Like imagine here in the bottom left hand corner of the map, there was like the Lich King like frozen against the wall. But like that was, you know, yeah, there's been like references of that nature before. But yeah, that was in either Heart of the Swarm or Legacy. There was a map that featured the Lich King. But here we go. Here we go. It is. Oh, sorry, my gases are taken. Gases are taken. If you recall, we spoke about how you can be more sinister here, either Reapers or going add-on into Marauder. It is going to be Tech Lab into Marauder production. The boys have been pulled, and here comes the all-in. We have how many Marauders? Two Marauders. We have the Marines. We have the SCVs as well. Shield battery is done in time. The boys also being pulled here for Shameless. And Shameless does pull the boys, getting on top of the SCVs. And 1, 2, 3 probes going down already. Workers now also going to be falling on both sides. The battery's running out of energy. Yeah, we're running out. We chronoed the Nexus? Oh, good. Chrono on the Nexus there, which was a little bit odd. That means no energy overcharge. The workers go down. We bust into the main base. And HonMonO, he's doing it. HonMonO, he's pulling this off. He still has 3 Marauders. Like, he still has so much DPS here. And here come more of the boys. Yeah, more boys have arrived. The Stalker is being zoned away. Yeah, it's going to be zoned away here. 16 probes falling, and HonMonO is just snowballing out of control. There's no safety battery in the main. Immortal's on the way, but it's too late. It's too little too late. The damage has been done. We come in for the force field. It can't really help too much. The Immortal will spawn in. The Immortal comes out, gets 1 Marauder, gets 2. Yeah, 2 Marauders go down. There's 3 Marauders left. He gets into the bunker finishes. Yeah, the bunker does finish. And the Immortal is going to be targeted down. One more shot, the Immortal does fall. GG gets called, and HonMonO takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. With that, HonMonO does take a lead in the series. What an animal. Goes to the one base all in. Proxy Marauder into pulling the boys. Again, initially Shameless had a decent defense at the natural, but as we did point out, there was no safety battery on the high ground. There was no earlier sentry. He did get caught out a little bit early on. In that kind of position, you do need to pull extra boys from the main base to try to maintain that position, to buy time for an energy overcharge, to maintain that shield battery as well, or to scout ahead of time and to set up in the main, right? You can also just pull back, just abandon the natural and try to defend the main base instead. There are options there, but GG well played. With that, HonMonO takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if the series ends here and now. It's gonna be a fast one here. Regardless, even if we go to the ace match, it's gonna be a fast series. Let's go. Meanwhile, do we have any other updates in the brackets? Quickly double checking here. It looks like almost the entirety of the first round has concluded. Okay, almost the entirety. There's still Roselia versus Perceive left. They're still ongoing. And Beyond versus Iosop is currently mid-series as well. They're popping up. They are mid-series. Does overcharge still exist? It does, but it is not a shield battery overcharge. It is the energy overcharge instead. The way that it works is that instead you're able to regenerate the energy on the battery to keep it going. I mean, it isn't exclusive to the battery. It's also used on High Templar, on Sentries, on any energy-based units, Phoenixes, Oracles. Do have the energy overcharge. That is a relatively new addition. I say relatively new. It's been like a year. Yeah, around a year, maybe a little bit more, since we've had the energy overcharge. It was early 2025 that was implemented. If not late 2024, like that kind of period of time. But here we go. Spawning in the right hand corner. We have our, as we load in game 2, we have our blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself representing Stanley Balls down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Orange Terran, representing Team Hyper 1. He is the cheesiest Terran player in all of South Korea, arguably the cheesiest Terran player in the entire world. It is HonMonO. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be opening up the initial racks back at home, and welcome to Wave Breaker. Wave Breaker is another very interesting map in the map pool. Has a very open and accessible natural base, but has a very long rush distance. To help with the long rush distance across the map, there are speed zones. We do have some speed zones here through the center. Likewise, we have some side blockers, some steam vents, some rocks as well. We have a relatively open third expansion on the right and on the left hand side as well. But the terrain is very interesting and very awkward. Specifically, I'm referring to the points of elevation. We have a very direct path into the natural, that is true, but outside of that, we have a lot of rocks. We have a lot of kind of like quirky pathways as well. I had a really hard time judging this map when it came to the TLMC judging process, but we're not gonna delve into it because here come the proxies. So far it looks like the same build. Gases are on the way. Are we going proxy Marauder again? We are. Same build. No, he's stuck. No, he's stuck. That should not have happened. The SEV. He's trapped on the other side. To be fair, that was HonMonO. HonMonO did trap him there. He could have waited a little bit before starting up that tech lab, but the SCV can't leave. Not like this. Oh no. Ideally, he would have wanted to have scouted, to have scouted with the SCV and potentially starting up the bunker as well. So no scouting, no vision here from HonMonO. Behind this, we do have our gate cyber expand. Here we go. The boys are being pulled. Do we free the boy, or is it just? I mean, it's just not worth it, right? You got to keep the production going. You can't just lift to free the worker. Does he? Nah, yeah. So here the army has amassed. We have our battery on the low ground. Second stalker has arrived. We have a sentry behind this. We'll see if Shameless kites back up the high ground. We'll see if he does pull extra boys from the main. Battery is now done. Army gets spotted. So if our HonMonO does kite back well. Does kite back, but still lose a bunch of SCVs. That's going to be 6 SCVs going down already. Yeah, 6 SCV kills, brutal damage. Now there's no more buffer. This time his workers decided to go focus down a lot faster. And where's that force field? Ooh, very nice force field. Okay. And again, much more patient play this time from Shameless. Last time he fought so hard for his natural. This time he just pulls away. He just pulls away and abandons his natural defense here in the main. Has the high ground advantage. Force fields the ramp. We have a backup battery in the mineral line, which did not exist last time. Yeah, so he's got his backup battery. Another marauder goes down. Third stalker has arrived. And again, this time a much cleaner early game out of Shameless. Very nicely done. But we have more boys. We have more SCVs coming in. Imagine if we had one extra, by the way. No. Imagine. There's some wasted DPS. Once again, SCVs are being cleaned up. Nice target firing. Ooh, doesn't quite get the marauder. Pulls back to the battery. Starts to bleed out a lot of probes, but he can afford it. He can afford it. HonMonO, he has 6 SCVs back at home. Barely any economy. And with that, even if HonMonO kills a natural, he's still behind. And honestly, I don't think he will kill that natural base. Now we have an immortal. Now we have a standing army. Shameless, he moves down. Shameless cannot be stopped. Does focus on 1, 2, 3, 4 marauders. No army left. GG gets called. GG gets called, and Shameless, he will tie the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A bold move out of HonMonO to go for the same build. Same build 2 games in a row. And again, this time Shameless had a much cleaner reaction. This time he was able to get on top of the SCVs a lot faster and reset the SCV count. Likewise, he was more than willing and much more accepting of just abandoning the low ground and pulling back onto the high ground instead, force fielding the ramp, getting a second battery in the main base mineral line to also support the army. And of course, that allowed him to buy enough time for the immortal production for the robot to get fully up and running. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match. We're going to game number 3 here, and we'll see how this story ends. Oh boy. We shall see, as game 3 is going to be on at Eternity's Edge. We expect more cheese and more aggression, but we'll see if HonMonO has something else up his sleeve. So far, it's been the same build 2 games in a row. We expect something different here in game 3. Technically, you can mind game, and you can maybe as HonMonO's opponent, in your mind you might be thinking like, oh, there's no shot he does the same build 3 games in a row, right? It's like, let's be greedy this time, and then you get punished. But HonMonO has a reputation. He does have a reputation at this point, so opponents and players, they should be playing safe against him. Should be. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of at Eternity's Edge, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss player himself, tying up the series 1-1 and forcing the ace match. Representing Stanley Bulls, it is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the orange Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is HonMonO. Catching up. King Sejong Station, I think it was like King Sejong Station did have a little ice on it, and it was a very popular map. I just don't know if it was like Frost or King Sejong Station, but I believe it was in that era of StarCraft, right? It was in that era of the game. Ooh, as this time we're going for a 2-racks opener back at home. No proxy, and no proxy this time. Now, I believe that this should lead into a 3rd and 4th racks, into a 1 base, 4 racks all in. Yep, there's the 3rd racks, no gases. So we're expecting a 4th racks into Mass Marine, and you pull the boys. Just Mass Marine, pull the boys. This is a build that HonMonO does like to mix in, and you can see the vision here. Shameless sees nothing. Shameless, he is denied entry into the main base, which is suspicious, but it is not uncommon to fully wall this area up and just expand and get a CC behind this on the high ground, or get a factory follow-up, another Rax follow-up. Shameless is in the dark, but he knows that it's HonMonO, so he knows that there's a high chance it's an all-in. Meanwhile, we can see again 4 Rax, Mass Marine into pulling the boys. Bearing in mind, there's no stim, right? There's no gas, and no stim, no combat shields. There's no further tech. There's no further finesse when it comes to the army. Just pure vanilla Marine and SCVs. Just men with gun and the boys. That's all you need. And this does hit quite hard. Does hit hard. Shameless back at home, just going for a standard opener. Okay, Cyber expand. Stalker's being chronoed. Yeah. Here we go. As HonMonO, he does rally across, takes over the Zonaga tower. And here come the boys. The boys are on the way. Let's go. Again, it's all or nothing. We have how many Marines? We have 10. It's going to be 14 Marines. 14 Marines, all the boys. Back at home, we do have 2 batteries on the way on the low ground. Both batteries are powered by 1 pylon. Bear that in mind. And we have a sentry on the way for the force fields. Just like last time, it'll be ideal to pull back to the main base to force field the ramp and to cut the army in half. That would be the ideal. But here comes the army. Here comes HonMonO. Let's move in. It does move in. SCVs are coming in with us around. So far, it does kite away. We do have some intentional target firing here on the Marines. Peeking off at the 2 Marines so far. 3. And nice focus firing. 3 Marines go down, but the sentry's on the low ground. Wait, what? Ooh, sentry's down on the low ground. The Stalkers are getting caught out, and Shameless, he cannot get away. Yeah, he's trapped. He cannot get away. If you remember, we were expecting him to kite into the main, but he kited behind the natural. He cornered himself. Yeah, Shameless, he got cornered. The army's coming in. Shameless, he's in trouble. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here. Does pull the boys. There's 1 Stalker left. It's going to be focused down. Down goes the Stalker. And that's game. That's game then and there. Again, Shameless, he chose the kite back behind his mineral line. He boxed himself in. Lost everything in the process. And with that, HonMonO, he has done it. There's 8 SCV or 8 probes left. I say that HonMonO, he is trying to depower the main. And there's that 1 Stalker. Okay, is there a chance? Is there a world? Second Stalker's on the way. Okay. HonMonO does have the high ground. Bunker's almost done. The bunker will finish. Yeah, the bunker will complete. It does cover the ramp. Third Stalker's being warped in. HonMonO does race back home to mine. Okay. There is that battery. Can Shameless stabilize? Gets a Marine. Nice pickup. Shameless does sniper Marine. This game should have been over, but no. Shameless, he's able to preserve some probes. Preserve his Stalkers. The battery putting in a little work. The bunker's going to go down. Oh no! Late reaction. Yeah, late reaction from Shameless, but thankfully he does have 2 more batteries on the low ground. And Shameless, he survives. He cleans this up. He's got 13 probes. He's got 13 workers. He has 2 Nexi. That's what's important here. He has 2 ways to make workers. 2 Nexus. HonMonO on 1 CC, and there's nothing here. Like, there's gases now, but there's no add-on. There's no stim. No combat shields. No natural base. HonMonO, he was so close. He was so close to killing. Ah, no. But he was a little bit indecisive with how he was spending his DPS, right? Like, he was trying to kill the pylon, the gateway. Like, he was a little bit all over the place. It wasn't very focused. All the Marines go down. Again, here comes a 3 Stalker counterattack. Trying to push up into the main. Change his name to HonMonO and the boys. True. Every game, Bappy. The boys are a big part of it. They're a big part of it. Yo, let's go. Some of the Europeans are waking up. When are we seeing Moja in the next Tuna Cup? We gotta wake up in the morning, Papi. Wake up early. Moja. This is Moja approved. Moja can be hyper aggressive. That's true. But I don't think he's quite on the level of HonMonO when it comes to just how much of an animal he is. Like, I don't. Oh no, not quite on that level, which is probably a good thing. To be fair, it's probably a good thing. Tuna Cup is way too early. What time is it in Europe? Hold on. Germany time. Bap, it's 1 p.m. No shot, Bappy, no shot. Yo, we're dancing with the moopies. Let's go. Ah, they're all watching Nova. Yes. God damn it. You're an animal, Bappy. You're an animal. You're like, it's too early. What time is that? 1 p.m. Jesus. These EUD gens. They're more willing to play a tournament at like 4 a.m. in the morning than at 1 p.m. SMH my hedge. Not like this. Meanwhile, throughout all of this, we have been building up into a secondary push. Behind this, we have taken our gases. More boy, let's go. The boys are on the way. Going into our own 3-1-1 setup with Banshees and with tanks. There's a lot more firepower here this time. 3 tanks. We got 3 tanks and a Banshee back at home. Speaking of firepower, we have Immortals. We have 2 Immortals here in the Prism. We have 3 batteries here at the ramp or at the natural. And we'll see if Shameless can make a stand. Gotta be careful. Cannot lose that Prism. Shields are triggered. Tanks a siege. Oof. Okay, tank shot goes up. One of the Immortals getting very low. So you can see HonMonO lead fucking forward. There is no charge. Here come the boys. The probes are coming. Here the probes are being pulled in. The Immortals are getting low. Nice target firing. Ooh, 1 Immortal goes down. There's 2 Immortals left. Down to 2. Yeah, down to 2, soon to be down to 1. More reinforcements on the way, and HonMonO, he breaks through the Immortals. Oh my god, he breaks through. Every Stalker goes down. And HonMonO, he's doing it. Just what? Who needs to expand? Just commit. Just commit, Pappy. Commit to the second all in. And just keep going. Ay, ay, ay. Job coming in from behind. Does snipe 1. Does snipe 1 tank. 1 tank goes down. We have 1 tank left. With good enough control, there's a world where Shameless can maybe snipe that final tank. But there's 3 Banshees. We got 3 Banshees back. We can't keep getting away with this. You just gotta believe, Fap. You just gotta believe. Unlock your inner HonMonO. That's all you gotta do. You have that inner voice inside you that's like, I guess we gotta expand. Like HonMonO, he just snuffs that out. Never expand, Pappy. Never expand. Just keep going. I say that with reinforcements with the control here. Oh my god. With the micro, the immortal pops off, the tank goes down. Shameless, he's holding. He's holding on. 1 base versus 1 base. Again, the micro, the control. We're still in this. Yo, we have Hyperflight Rogers on the way. He's crazy, man. He's crazy. Ooh, local on the Prism. Yeah, local on the Prism. Prism is not gonna get away. Oof, Prism goes down. Yeah, hefty loss here for Shameless. We can't afford these losses here, bear that in mind. As we have a very limited economy, gotta be careful. Meanwhile, HonMonO's Banshees are making their way back home. The Banshees have returned. There's no Twilight Council, there's no Blink. We are down to 5 Stalkers. Suddenly, the anti-air here is gonna matter. Just checking the gold. Yo, we rush into the gold? Are we? Let's go, Shameless, let's go. This might kill him, by the way. Shameless, he has the money. Yeah, he goes to the expand. That's 400 minerals being spent on a Nexus. Here comes HonMonO. Here comes the third wave. Gets a sentry. Ooh, gets a stalker. Yeah, takes down a free sentry, free stalker as well. There's a recall back home. We're down to 6 stalkers. Oh. And she's almost caught out. Gotta be careful. Banshees, they do peel off. Yeah, they veer off into the main. Shameless, remember his recall's on cooldown. And he gets in. Wow, he gets into the mineral line. Sentry goes down, 2 probes as well. Nice flyby. Uh-oh. Oh, there's not enough. No, there's no dead space. Yeah, not enough dead space here behind the main. Oof. Gets punished by the map. Punished by the map. 1 Banshee goes down. Does he? No shot. Does he scout? Yeah, he's hugging left hand side. He scouts. He sees. It does find the Nexus. Banshee making its way over. And we are running out of resources here. You know what's crazy is that HonMonO, he gets caught out. Yeah, gets caught out. Banshee does barely get away. Again, there's no cloak. But what's crazy is that HonMonO's saturation here is still efficient because he keeps pulling the boys and he keeps resetting his own worker count. Like Shameless, he's mining out. Meanwhile, HonMonO, he can still keep this going because he just keeps pulling the boys. Ooh, cloak is activated. No detection. Observers across the map. Oh no, free damage on the stalkers. 1, 2, 3 stalker kills. Oh no. Yeah, 4 getting up to 5. 1 Banshee goes down. Still a better trade here for HonMonO. Sniping every single stalker. Ay, ay, ay. The cloak is crazy. He's crazy, baby. Without killing the expansion. Shameless evacuates. The invisible flying machine. Ah. And here comes wave number 4. Here comes the 4th big push, the 4th all-in. Still in 1 base, by the way. And what's crazy is that as we finally start to mine through this, HonMonO, he can just lift and land. He can just lift and land and take another base. He's fine. Why make a second command center where you can just lift up the first? Just float it over. True. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. He commits in. Kills another stalker. There's not enough anti-air. There's not enough anti-air. There's 1, 2 stalkers left. Down to 0. 0 stalkers remaining. Marines, they power their way through. Massive damage here on the Immortals. There's 1 Phoenix. But the Terran army reigns supreme. Once again, breaks through the main army, and this time he can end the game. This time he can just keep pushing. He will not be stopped. HonMonO breaks in. Cleans up all the zealots. GG gets called. Well played, and HonMonO will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. That was a 16-minute game, and it was just one base for 16 minutes. Crazy, baby, crazy. Non-stop all-ins at a HonMonO, and every single time he was crippling Shameless. He was barely not able to kill until the very end. Of course, the Banshees, they reigned supreme. The gold base was found, was shot down, was punished, and of course the Banshees did snowball out of control as well. GG, well played. Hyper aggression here by HonMonO. It all came down to the first defense, of course, where Shameless did not maintain the ramp, did not defend his main. Here in the ace match, he did decide to kite back behind his natural. He got caught with the sentry, with the stalkers. Everything was boxed in, everything got shut down, and then GG. Then GG, well played. With that, let's catch up on the rest of the bracket. Let's figure out what the hell's going on. Where are we?